Can you possibly move that, like, closer to is that okay?
Hi.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
I would have liked you to been able to talk more before today, but next time we'll get a little more conversation.
Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to Woodland Chapel. And I know I'm supposed to be standing right here at 11 o'clock, but here, yes, thank you. And this is the thing about our lovely community that, I have missed a couple weeks, and it's just so exciting to be here and so many people to talk to. And what are you going to do? Because it is wonderful to have community and to be here in person. And loving all you guys that are watching via the internet. That's wonderful too. But it is so nice to just be connected here in person. So apologize for being a little late. Oh, gosh. Ooh, I ran up the stairs. And I'm really not going to collapse right here. But that's embarrassing that I'm so out of breath running up the stairs. All right, our announcements. And next week, I was telling Cheryl, I'm so excited about next week. Darcy and I have a wonderful Sunday planned. And the topic here is inquiring minds want to flow. Well, I kind of shifted that a little bit because it's the Sunday before Valentine's Day. But I wanted to talk about love, but love is complex. Love is complex. So I'm excited to talk about it in not in a simplistic way. So next week, be here. And potluck this morning, I was saying that 11 o'clock last night, which Paul wanted to sleep, I think, but I was suddenly not tired at all. And I dawned on me, we have potluck this Sunday, which I generally forget. So 11 o'clock, I said, we've got to get something for potluck, which we didn't. But it is potluck Sunday, so do stay and enjoy one another because we have such awesome people here. The silent auction winners will be announced today, probably down at the potluck, I'm assuming. And Soup for the Soul fundraiser, the third Sunday of each month after services beginning February 19th. We can take this home and tape it up. Enjoy homemade soup and bread for a love offering of $3 per person. Wow. Chaired by Sandy and Satya. And wow, that is a bargain. I was just in New Seasons, and they've raised their cup of soup to $6, I think. So, and that's a cup, no bread. Anyway, so be here. That sounds exciting. Class is going to start, right? Are you doing that class, Reverend Moore?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Spiritual economics. And are you using Butterworth's book?
Yes.
Oh, you guys, I'm sure a lot of you are familiar with that book. But Eric Butterworth's book on spiritual economics, which will be used in this class, is like the best book. I mean, Eric Butterworth is, he's passed, but his books are classics. Wisdom, and that is just one of the best books you'll ever find on the subject, if not the best book. So
I
that
totally
class,
agree, Julie, and I just would comment that the coursework itself has been completely revised. So if you've had the course before, it's going to be a new experience for you to take it again. And we'll get a sign-up sheet out next week. It should be really fun. It'll be a good class.
yeah.
It starts on, what did we say, the 20th?
It starts on February 28th
Right.
at 6 p.m.
That's the first session.
and March 3rd at 9:30 a.m.
Same class, but a daytime. So you can have a choice of daytime or evening time. Okay?
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lovely opportunity. So, just want to remind you that this is a teaching based on prayer, and prayer absolutely works. So if you have a prayer request, There is prayer forms out in the library and a prayer box confidentially to drop that in and take advantage of that. And are the new Science of Mind magazines out to?
They are, yes.
Yes. And the readings that we have up here that are so fabulous come from that magazine. So if you don't have a subscription, you really want to take one home to read every day, they are now out in the library. So, all right. Ari and Peter this morning.
Do we have any visitors?
Oh, is there anyone here for the first time today? Welcome. I am so sorry. I just got so carried away with everything else. I totally forgot. Thank you, Ruth. Okay, welcome. We are so glad you are here. Oh, please come down and have something to eat afterwards so we can say hello and get to know you. Yeah, thank you, Ruth. So, February birthdays. Well, Ari, there is a tradition here to sing happy birthday. So anybody having a birthday this month?
Anybody in February?
All right. Oh, all right.
I know that song.
So do you know happy birthday just off the top of your head? I would imagine.
Of course.
So,
Ready?
Yeah.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, February birthday. Happy birthday to you.
yeah,
Happy birthday.
a wonderful day, the day you were born. And Ari and Peter, oh wow, they are so cool, and I love you guys, and I'm so glad that you're here. And I do believe that they will be doing our music. And are we opening with a congregational song?
We
now?
are. We have a song to sing with y'all if you want to join us. It's called Wave After Wave by Charlie Thweet. And let's do it. You ready? All right.
And you can stand if you like. It gets energy in your body. Yeah.
Wave after wave after wave after wave after wave is breaking down the wall. I'm letting down the walls. I'm letting down the walls. One more time. I'm letting down the walls. Thank you all. Beautiful.
Yes. And I invite practitioner Ruth to center us in spirit.
I think she forgot the invocation is on the list too, right?
Yes, right now.
Let's come together here in quietness and in comfort, but in openness. And remembering that God is all there is and all there is God, we know that we are all God. We are all open to the gifts of God, the source of our supply. And I know that this gathering today hangs on the words of learning for them. Each one takes a word home and will know what it means to them. And I'm so thankful that I'm able to be in this group and to be serving in this capacity. But I release these words into the law of love, knowing that the answer is always yes. Though we may not see it as a yes, it is a yes. And if you'll join me in saying, and so it is. In your program is an affirmation. If you'll say it together with me. I now take to heart the words of Ernest Holmes. Always stay open at the top. What lies beneath the first appearances on the surface of my life experiences is the divine intention of my true self, rising to the level of my life understanding and opening me to fresh, new perspectives. I am always to see God in every moment and everyone and everything in life. And so it is.
Thank you, Ruth. And so, John, will share with us an inspirational reading this morning.
Good morning. Optimism, pessimism. Henning Mankell wrote in Chronicler of the Winds, and isn't that a neat title, Chronicler of the Winds? What doesn't exist, you have to create yourself. Even a dream can't be plucked out of your head and shaped into a purpose. Are you familiar with the story of the two boys, one an absolute pessimist and the other an absolute optimist? The gist of the story is that the one operated from fear and what could go wrong, and the other from the possibility of what could go right. The climax reveals the nature of the optimistic child, who, upon seeing a huge pile of manure, says, with all this manure, there must be a pony in here somewhere. When you look at life, do you simply see a pile of manure and begin to look for the fan that this manure is going to hit? Do you see a pile of toys, gifts, talents, and avoid them for fear of messing them up? fear of not using them correctly? Most of us are a mixture of these two young boys. Some things we hope for and others we fear. Some things cause us to feel like imposters who need to put on a good show so no one finds out just how incompetent we feel we are. We have available to us this amazing superpower that grants us the ability to dissect all our fears, cultural indoctrination and baggage, and to choose a new way to see and experience the world. Our curiosity grants us the ability to envision, engage, and experience something that may not have ever been before. A world without racism, sexism, systemic hunger, injustices, and inequities. What if we can begin to eradicate these and others by engaging our practice? And our bonus affirmation for today is, today I look for the healing. If I do not find it, I bring it. If I can't find peace or love, I bring all this and more.
Wow. Thank you, John. I just absolutely love our moment of inspirational readings, don't you guys? How they speak to us. And yeah, again, they're all in the Science of Mind magazine for you. And Ari and Peter, welcome.
Hello again. So lovely to be back. Happy New Year. Haven't seen you in this new year yet. Welcome back. We are going to play a song by India Ari. It's called Strength, Courage, and Wisdom. Inside my head there lives a dream that I want to see in the sun. By my eyes there lives a me that I've been hiding for much too long. 'Cause I've been too afraid to let it show. 'Cause I'm scared of the judgment that may follow. Always putting off my living for tomorrow. It's time to step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. It's been elusive for so long. But freedom is mine today. Gotta step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. Procrastination had me down. But look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me. Behind my pride there lives a me that knows humility. Inside my voice there is a soul, and in my voice there is a soul. Oh, too afraid to make a choice. I'm scared of the things that I might be missing. It's time to step out on faith. Gotta show my faith. It's been elusive for so long, but freedom is mine today. Gotta step out on faith. Time to show my face. Procrastination had me down, but look what I have found. I found strength, courage, and wisdom. It's been inside of me all along. Whoa. Strength, courage, and wisdom inside of me.
Thank you, guys. And now I want to introduce, for those of you who are here for the first time, our senior minister here at Woodland Chapel, Reverend Maur Horton. Welcome this morning.
Thank you, Reverend Julie. Oh, give Julie a hand for her job here. Well, good morning. It's great to be here with you this morning. It's truly an expression of the heart of love and the heart of faith that lives and moves as Woodland Chapel Center for Spiritual Living. It's truly a joy to be here. It's a joy to have you with us. You know, there's a lot that goes on. There's a lot that actually occurs here at Woodland Chapel that you don't see a lot of. I mean, you see some of it, right? How many of you have been down to the hospitality room already this morning? Anybody? Yeah, several. And you saw potluck being prepared. We saw Suze and others down there rustling around, getting things ready, making hot plates ready. Today's potluck. Did anybody bring anything for potluck? Oh, really? Oh, right, wonderful. And if you didn't, don't worry about it. There's plenty of food, okay? So there's just a lot we don't see. You probably don't see our sound and audio person this morning, do you? Oh, he's up there. He's Aaron. There's Aaron. He's up there. Hi, Aaron. Oh, gosh. What else don't we see that's happened?
Meditation garden.
The meditation garden. Who maintains the meditation garden? Don Lewis. Thank you, Don. You don't see that all the time. Yeah. Anything else we don't see here? Well, I would offer that, pardon?
Everything that happens when we're not here.
Well, that too. Right, so how about preparation? The preparation that Reverend Julie did for her work. The preparation I've done for the talk. Hopefully it works out well. and
Ruth put up on the altar.
look at all that. You didn't see Ruth do that, but there it is. It's beautiful. Yeah. So we just give thanks for all of this wonderful reality that exists below the surface. You know, our topic for this month is the superpower called curiosity. And the topic for this morning is something about being beneath the surface, right? We don't always see it. But let's give a hand to everybody who's had any role in preparing for today. Come on, let's go. All right. Excellent. All right. Now, I would like to take a moment to recognize a person who is not here, a person who has been here for many Sundays as our greeter. Her name is Leona Claire Fuller. She's been in Salem Hospital for about 2 weeks, has a variety of conditions, and her feelings and vibrancy go up and down day by day. She not only served as greeter, she assisted Gail Preem. Gail, where are you? There you are, dear. And counting our Sunday morning offerings. And unfortunately, her husband, Paul Richards, was involved in an accident on Friday, I believe, in the afternoon, and he has made his transition. Paul was 94 years old. Yeah. I'd like to just have us join in prayer for just a moment for them. I know there is one presence. It is the creative power of love and has brought us and the entire universe into being. I know its life is perfect and that life is my life now. What I know for myself, I know for Claire and Paul and all of us. I declare perfect divine right outcomes for Claire and for Paul. Both are in the hands of the infinite. I know the spirit of love cradles their hearts and sustains their being. I know that each continues in a full, rich life, whether on this plane of existence or in the next larger life. I treasure both Paul and Claire. Each is a blessing to those who serve them. I know that the surgeons, physicians, nurses, and others who support them do so fully and with a clear intention to help. I give thanks for this clear vision of love, support, and life. And I let go and let the divine law of the universe bring all these blessings and even more to Claire, to Paul, and to us all. And let us say together, and so it is. You know, there's something else we'd like to recognize this morning you may not be aware of. Do you know that February is Black History Month? I don't know who declared it such. Does anybody know? I was going to look it up, but I didn't take the time. Anyway, I believe that Black History Month and the civil rights movement itself arose out of the same simple yet powerful desire for change. Out of curiosity, really, to the question, something like this: what would happen if we stood up for our rights peacefully, nonviolently? Has anybody here heard of Rosa Parks? Anybody? I think so. Most of us, right? Yesterday was a birthday of hers. She was born on February the 4th, 1913, and passed and made her transition on October 24th, 2005. She's mostly known for an action she took on December 1st, 1955. She and two others refused to move to the back of the bus. A simple thing, right? This arguably sparked the start of a movement that included the bus strike, which is led in part by Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., and it strengthened and sparked a civil rights movement that we have to this day. It lasts. Now, I found two quotes from Rosa Parks that I think identify two spiritual principles that underlie today's civil rights movement and Black History Month both. The first underlies and underscores the power of mind to choose. Rosa Parks wrote in her book, Quiet Strength, "I have learned over the years that when one's mind is made up, this diminishes fear. Knowing what must be done does away with fear." There's some faith in that, isn't there? Some power of mind. Yeah. And in an article in Life magazine, she is quoted as having said, "I would like to be known as a person who is concerned about freedom and equality and justice and prosperity for all people." For all people. Okay? Well, doesn't the law of the universe apply equally to all? It's always available. It's always there. It's impartial. I believe that we're so blessed to belong to a country that is beginning to address issues that arose in the past and persist to this day. The way may not be smooth, but it is a path worth exploring. Each of us, of course, will do that exploration in the way that we're called to do that. I wonder, what would it be like if all were on a level social economic playing field? Could that even happen? If it did, at what cost? Does there have to be winners and losers to make society work? Civil rights could be the subject for an entire lecture, but today we're talking about curiosity. And maybe we'll have time for that another day. I'd like to begin the part about curiosity with a question. Have you ever stood on a beach, or perhaps on a pier, looking down into the water and noticed the sea life, or wondering what's it like down under there? Anybody at all? Yeah. I started wondering that at a very early age, about 16 or so. I had been exposed to the TV series. Anybody remember Sea Hunt at all? Yeah, they had dolphins in it, and they had this new thing. It was called an aqualung. It had recently been invented right in World War II or so, and the French folks, particularly Jacques-Yves Cousteau and Paul Gauguin, not the painter, and there was a fellow in the U.S. Army, I can't remember his name right now, who also helped develop this aqualung idea. The aqualung would allow you to go below the water and breathe freely. You didn't have to worry about doing all this sort of thing or snorkeling. You could just be down in the water. Wow. So I got hooked on scuba diving. And I'd like to relay just a little story about that. I was staying at the Scuba Club de Cozumel, that's in Mexico, with the Salem Scuba Club. And Peter and I were rooming together. And one afternoon, we didn't have any scheduled group dives. Normally, we had 2 or 3 a day, but they were giving us a little time off. Well, we decided, hey, let's take advantage of the offer. We'll go to a wreck dive. You know, where you go down and see a wreck under the water? That sounded kind of interesting. So we did. We took off, us and the dive master. We had 20 minutes to get there. And then we dove down and started at the very bottom part of the boat, which is the stern. It was laying something like this in the water. So we go over the stern, we go inside, and we go through the mess compartment, the part where people had their commissary. Then we go into the control room. We went down into the engine room, saw the engine's still there. We looked out there, come up out of the compartment there, and there at the bow of the boat is this gun mount. No gun, of course, but there's a gun mount there. And we said, well, this, we're feeling and communicating with signs. This is really interesting. Well, just about the time we're starting to head to the surface, there comes a huge, really large eagle ray. You ever seen an eagle ray? Oh, an eagle ray. It's like a manta ray, but it's really large, and it's heading straight toward us. It's just coming right at us. Now, an eagle ray can be as much as 16 feet long and 11 feet wide and full mature. And this is a big one. It would roll a little bit. Eagle rays kind of swim like birds do in the air. They use their arms to move the water, and they move along pretty well, pretty fast. Coming right at us. And we go back to grab the boat and say, oh my, in our hearts. and it even looks bigger because when you wear one of these masks, it has a magnifying effect. So it really looks large. I felt like it was like the size of a B-52 or something coming right over us. Oh my gosh. Unfortunately, it did go over us. Nobody got hurt. You know that eagle rays and other rays like that have like 5 or so darts in the back of their tail that are poisonous? Ooh, yeah. So we were very fortunate. So we did manage to get to the surface with our dive master and get in the boat. Nobody was hurt. It's interesting to me that having taken on the role from curiosity about finding how would I say? If I hadn't followed my curiosity, if the folks who invented the aqua lung hadn't done so out of their desire to have more freedom underwater, if that hadn't happened, I would have missed the best part, I think maybe the best experience of my underwater life. It never would have happened because curiosity was there. This superpower that ignites the imagination and allows us to find out what's going on in life, it worked. And I had a marvelous experience. This is an experience that I think I'll remember forever. It's kind of like locked in that deep storage part of the memory. I hope never goes away because it was really exciting. It was quite an experience to be under the water and know and meet this creature, this wonderful being that I would, without these extra equipment, I would never have been able to be so close to, because we actually felt the flow of the water as it went by. Yeah, it was really humbling. It was wonderful. Yeah, it really was. The power of curiosity is amazing. It truly is. As Rumi writes, this is a quote I found that was somewhat related. We've been walking in the surf, holding our robes up, when we should be naked, diving under, diving under. That's not, well, we don't have to be naked to do that, but we could dive under the water and use this wonderful equipment, right? Now, our metaphysical teachings provide us with specialized tools to survive in the world. Just as underwater we had this aqualung and the mask and the fins and all that sort of thing, our metaphysical principles give us the ways and methods to bring in our realization of the power of mind, the wholeness of our being, and our ability to learn and to love and be compassionate. We learn how law works in new environments. We experience the love of adventure. Oh, yes. Oh, my. Just what is curiosity? Anybody got an idea? What's curiosity? Somebody must know, right? I know. I think I know, but I want to see if you know. A thirst. Oh, I love that. A thirst. What are we thirsting for?
Information we don't know.
Oh, absolutely. Did you read the same dictionary I did?
I'm just a real nosy person.
Oh, all right. Now, I take this opportunity to make a point I was going to make later, and that is that there's a difference between being nosy and being curious, okay? if you want a distinction between the two, it really depends on your intention. Are you curious because something within you wants to get out and understand, gather this information? We'll talk about information gathering in a minute. Or is it you just want to kind of get in somebody else's life and figure out what's going on and try to maybe control it a little bit? That's not the curiosity we're talking about. We're talking about the curiosity that is based in love, really. Yeah. So the dictionary definition that I found was curiosity is the desire to know, basically. To know what? Any guesses? Everything. Okay, I can end my talk right there. That's it. We have a desire to know everything. Right. We have a desire to know life. I think that's what we really want to know. We want to know this exciting experience that we call living and being together and doing things and singing and dancing. And we're curious. We want to be. We want to do what is real and makes us be so alive. That's what we want. I think that's what that is. Now, we talked, actually, Shannon brought up a behavior. This behavior, well, maybe read my notes a little bit. This behavior is observable across the entire animal kingdom, from apes and dolphins, way down to the crabs and the tiny nematodes. It's called information seeking. It's the reason we have senses. It's the reason we have contact with the outside world, so our brains can know how to handle the situation. Whether you're a little tiny thing like Simon, our dog friend, or Fajita, our other dog friend that's here, or it's ourselves. We gather information. When does information gathering qualify as curiosity? Good question. Well, there's this distinction. It kind of goes with the earlier distinction we made. Information gathering actually becomes curiosity when it comes from an internal desire to know rather than an external requirement. For example, if we have to know something for our work or something of that sort, then it's really not just curiosity. It's more, got to know, do it, one of those obligatory things. Curiosity is spontaneous. It just happens. And when we're really curious, we can do some amazing things. Do you know the process of curiosity, how it works kind of in the brain? There's a whole bunch of science about this. Every brain is unique. Every mind is unique. But there's kind of like some common elements. And one of the common elements is that you go into a curiosity state, like if you hear a sudden noise at home, or perhaps some new activity has started up in front of you. And the first thing in the brain that goes, there's a circuit, we call it the unpleasant circuit thing. It's an alarm bell. Whoop, something's going on. I don't know what it is. Better find out, right? Then, when you get kind of to the next stage, the part of the brain, the circuits, the brain has many circuits. It's not just pieces, it's circuits. And so those are responsible for learning and memory kick into high gear, so you can learn something and remember what you've learned and do it efficiently. At this point, you're primed to begin your search for answers. And when you actually begin learning new facts in your curiosity state, something even more interesting than heightened memory happens. Your reward circuitry kicks in. That the part of your brain and the circuit in your brain that rewards you with the chemical dopamine. You've heard of dopamine, right? Yeah, it's a good thing. It makes you feel good, and it heightens your awareness. And so this causes you to want to be curious again, because you've gotten this reward in your brain. It all works out. Ain't science wonderful? I found a little story I thought you might find humorous as I did. Maybe. We'll see. It's a short story. Here goes. Do you want to hear it? I should ask that first. Yes. It's okay. All right. Well, sometimes you don't want to hear a joke. You just want to keep getting that good stuff, We'll see how this works. Okay. This is a classic setup. Jesus, Chuck Norris, and the Pope. Kind of a strange combination, right? Are sitting in a boat in the middle of a lake. I think you know how this is going to go a little bit. They decide to get to the shore, so Jesus leaves the boat and walks over the water to the shore. Chuck Norris leaves the boat, and he walks over the water to the shore. The Pope, being baffled, also tries to step out of the boat, but he finds that he's in the middle of the water. He has to swim to the shore. Oh, well, you can imagine when the Pope got to the shore, he's really curious. What happened? Oh, and Jesus said, well, I suppose I should have told you about the rocks that were just below the surface. And Chuck Norris said, what rocks? A little chuckle, that's great. Curiosity. Curiosity benefits your individual life and contributes to the value of humanity, to the life of humanity. It really is. Curiosity is great for oneself. When you're curious about things, you learn more easily. When you learn, you can help express yourself more clearly, and you can help grasp new concepts and then use them. Curiosity is great. In today's world, being curious can enrich your life massively. Pursuing your passions is satisfying both in the short term and the long term. Whether you're studying philosophy, or you're studying science, or biology, or environment, whatever. Different approaches suit different people. But what matters is what each one of us does with the information. That's how we live our lives, isn't it? Do we live it in peace and joy and energy? Or are we confused and put upon by the experiences of life? Now, curiosity has been the driving engine for human advancement. Advancement in science, art, exploration of the planet and the human mind, and for the development of understanding. We can look at 4 different kind of profiles of curiosity. There's the inventor profile. Has anybody heard of Nikola Tesla? Have you? Do you know what he's famous for? Kind of? The Tesla coil, which is still used in radios today. That's got exactly. He discovered a way to get, I don't understand exactly, how the electricity to be, so now we can have powerful magnets and powerful engines, electric engines. Yes, okay, that would be the inventor. How about the artist? Have you ever heard of Ludwig von Beethoven? Oh yeah. He took music art forms and made them into something new, something wonderful. It's still listened to today, right? How about an explorer called Ellen Ochoa? Have you ever heard of Ellen Ochoa? No? I hadn't either until I did a little research. She is the first Spanish-American woman to be an astronaut and fly into space. She was part of a docking maneuver when the Discovery docked with the space station. For the very first time, she was part of that team. Yeah. And she went on. She became the head of NASA. She was an explorer. She was a scientist. And you know what else? She's a flautist. She loves to play the flute. I just thought that was kind of interesting. Okay, so we've got, what did we get now so far? We got the artist, we got Ludwig, we got the inventor, we got Tesla, we got the explorer, we got Ellen. Oh, I know, you know all about this person. How about Albert Einstein? You ever heard of Albert Einstein? What's he famous for? His theory of almost everything. What is it? The first and second law of something or other. Yeah, well, I don't think it's thermodynamics in his case. Relativity, that was what it is. Yes, relativity. And so he was probably the most influential physicist in the 20th century. It was amazing. It was truly amazing. He got the Nobel Prize. Do you know what for? Photoelectric cells. I don't know how he got that, but that's what it says in my research. Now, one of the more interesting things that he said applying to our inquiry this morning is, I don't have any special talents. I just have great curiosity. Okay, curiosity works. You see, curiosity comes in and can change the world. It may not, I may not do anything that's going to change the whole world, but maybe you will, or our kids will, or some combination of folks working together will. So the path does open before us. We have our own unique brain structure, and we are one of a kind in our spiritual process. We truly are. Now, there's one thing I'd like to mention before I begin to close. Let's see here. I'll skip a bunch of stuff here. Each of us has our own unique personality, our own unique brain structure, but there are some common elements. I'm sure most of us have heard of tapes in the brain, tapes in the mind. Is everybody kind of familiar with that idea where we have these pre-programmed routines, kind of, that when something comes up, we tend to react in a certain way. It's automatic. Some of them are good, some of them, not so good. Well, there's a whole branch, there are a couple branches of psychology. I think one's called humanistic, and the other's transitional psychology. And they identify these tapes, these kind of permanent parts of our brain structure that we don't, it's below the surface. We don't really see them most of the time. We don't always feel them, but they're there, right? Have you ever been in the middle of the night and woken up and got these thoughts that just won't go away? Anybody? They're not so good sometimes. But they're there. And so the psychologists give this a term called sub-personalities. They're like personalities within our own minds. And each has kind of an area. And there may be a dozen of them in there. And you may be aware of some and you may not be aware of some. But they're there. And they tend to come to the surface. Now, curiosity allows us to take a look at each one of these when they come up and address them, accept them, just say, oh, you're here. What do you want? Well, why are you here with me now? I've done some of this work and it does pay off. It works. So the curious way to proceed would be to accept what's coming before you, listen to what it's saying, and see if you can begin to dialogue with it a little bit. What is it that's going on? Why are you here tonight? What's coming up? And that can help to transition from a disturbed, agitated state of mind to one of calmness as we accept ourselves and accept this process of exploring what lies beneath the surface of our own minds. It's really amazing. It truly is. Now, the fundamental metaphysical principle underlying all exploration of curiosity is creative oneness. Each of us embodies some aspect of the infinite. We are curious beings. Whether we are curious about beauty or intelligence or inventiveness or exploration, it doesn't really matter. Curiosity is a driver, a superpower for us as human beings. It's kind of like the trees that grow here at Woodland Chapel. We're open to the top, and we're open to the bottom. We're open to the exploration of life in all of its wonder, whether it be reaching to the heavens or be digging deeply down into what's beneath the surface. It's all part of being alive. It's all part of being full of energy. Nothing really prevents us from exploring our curiosity. Age doesn't prevent us. Remember Grandma Moses? Heard her? Handicaps don't prevent us. Remember Stephen Hawkins or Helen Keller? Or we're not confined by water even. Remember Jacques Cousteau? We're not confined by gravity. Remember Ellen Ochoa, Neil Armstrong, and others? And the only thing that really confines us is the use we make of our own imaginations. Only if we stop following upon our curiosity do we block further growth. If we love enough, if our desire is strong enough, we can use imagination and indeed expand our own capacity for art and science and invention and exploration. There's so much out there, folks. There really is. Let's learn and love wisely. I'd like to close this morning with a poem. It's by Maya Angelou, and I'm choosing this poem because it speaks to possibility and because it is Black History Month. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? Because I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room? just like moons and like suns with the certainty of tides, just like the hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders following down like teardrops, weakened by soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still like air, I rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame, I rise. Up from a past that's rooted in pain, I rise. I'm a black ocean leaping and wide, swelling and welling. I bear in the tide. Living behind nights of terror and fear, I arise. Into a daybreak that's wonderfully clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise. And I would add, from the deep beneath the surface, I rise. From the surface, I rise. I rise to the heights above the skies. I rise to the heights of spiritual living. I arise, I rise, I rise. Can you say, I rise? Again, I rise. Yes, say it again, 3 times. I rise, I rise, I rise. That's the message for this morning, folks. Namaste.
Great, we have another song for you.
Yes.
It's called Only I. That I wrote over, actually, it's Christmas, this past Christmas. In the stillness, I found this song. When I stop and listen. Thank you very much.
Wow, thank you. Beautiful. Okay, I have to sometimes just come out of that reverie. So, would the ushers come forward, please?
Shannon?
And it occurred to me with the idea of curiosity and curious about our own being, where we are. I often find that the person I know the least about sometimes is myself. And I find that in our offering, it's an interesting place to listen to ourselves, as the song said, as we have the opportunity to share from our wealth for our community, for a lot of things. How does it feel when we're asked to share that? And it's just I always find this an interesting place about myself. Where do I feel about money? What is my consciousness of money? So the offering is, yes, supports our community, supports our church, keeps the roof on, but it does more than that. It's an opportunity to listen to our own soul about where we are in consciousness around money. So, yes. Yeah, we have a affirmation.
The affirmation of prosperity is.
Yeah. Let's say it together. Divine love as me blesses and multiplies all that I am, all that I have, and all that I circulate.
So it is. Do you want to pray?
I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you let me be. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you give to me. And I thank you, yes, I thank you for the love you let me be.
The great thanksgiving that arises in our hearts comes from that very same place, that very same divine presence, that very same goodness that lives in us always. It expresses itself in so many wonderful ways, in the physical structure of our chapel, in the ability to come together and be together, to speak and to listen, to learn and to grow. We give thanks for it all. We give thanks for every gift given here this morning. We give thanks and just kind of wonder a little bit curiously, how's that all going to work out? But we know, don't we, in our hearts, it's going to work out beautifully. So let us give thanks and say, and so it is.
And so it is. And let us say together the prayer of protection, which has these wonderful words of truth. The light of God surrounds us. The love of God enfolds us. The power of God protects us. The presence of God watches over us. Wherever we are, God is, and all is well. And let us
Let's
stand
stand up.
together
Yes.
for our
Sit.
peace song.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can
Let there be peace on earth, and let it begin with me. Let
We did. No, I am not so good. You did great. I'm going to reflect back on the things that you said in the parking lot about we'll make mistakes and we'll learn from them. That's how it works.
And I really would like to be able to play that song.
Hi, thank you so much.